Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host and producer of the show, Joey Sampaga. How you doing today, buddy?
What's going on?
Having a show.
Yes, the best
Hey,
thing.
we've got a couple ladies back in here with us that have been in here the last couple times, and they just keep bringing it. So they've got lots of topics. I think we have even another one scheduled next week. So they've just been bringing lots of topics to share with the agents, and we're glad to have you all back here. We've got Alec-Lauren Burton with eXp Realty and Jessica Benevento with Movement Mortgage. How you doing?
Good. Very good. Very good. I mean, I know it's back to back, but literally it's like 1900 and 1920. A lot happens in 7 days.
Yeah, no kidding. Truly.
That's weird.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
Whiplash.
A lot has happened. There's a lot of hot topics right now for sure, with mortgage, not only mortgage rates, the Fed funds rate. A lot of confusion too. A lot of confusion.
Oh my gosh,
so I know you all wanted to jump into, and I know you've introduced yourself on the last couple shows, so we can probably bypass that and jump right into the topics. And I know one of the big ones is affordability that we really wanted to cover. So if you guys want to go ahead and jump into that, that'd be awesome.
Right. So Jess will catch the credit side of this, but as we're out in the market and we're hearing the conversation of the buyers out there right now and what they're looking for. Before it was the appreciation is going at such a pace, and with interest rates, appreciation was pricing them out affordability wise of how we were growing. Well, now that we've got a handle on that and we're leveling off on our appreciation, which is wonderful for affordability, the interest rates have now priced a lot of people out, which Jess can speak to the solutions on that. What we're really seeing that I wanted to touch on, though, are combined family living and them sitting back and watching what the market's going to do. A lot of people haven't taken that into account. And so as far as our growth rate goes right now, we haven't even been looking at the affordability factor and demand and how much of the population of those in the market are living multi-gen families living in one household right now. And so that demand, as we start to level off, will come into play. And I think that's something to consider, especially with solutions that Jess has to offer.
Right.
Like 2-1 buy downs, things like that. As we start to see price reductions, that does not mean value reductions. I just want to say that doesn't mean our values are going down and appreciation's in the tank. No, we're still appreciating. But as we start to see prices level off and price reductions come back into this atmosphere, then I think that those families hopefully should start looking, if we're having the right conversations, right? Which will take effect on demand. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of people are looking at, they don't even know, they're thinking, oh my gosh, 6.5% interest rates, well, between 6.5, but there's so many more programs coming out now, right?
Yes.
Solution-based wise.
Yeah, I was talking to a newer agent yesterday, and she was bringing a girl, single mom with a child, to see rentals yesterday. And she was looking at 1 bedroom or even renting a room for her price point. I'm like, hold on, why is she renting? She's like, oh, she definitely, credit's not that good. I said, what's her credit? She's like, she doesn't even know. I'm like, she could probably buy something. Like, let her do an application. Let's see her credit. And I said, and she could always have a co-signer as well. People don't realize that they could buy something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, and rents, as you know, are up. I mean, they're astronomical.
Right. So all of the data, all of the numbers right now are rents aren't going down.
No.
Now, let's say you have something for $2,500, right? You might get offered $2,400, $2,300 and you're taking it. But the reality is when you're paying that $30,000 a year to that landlord, you might as well toss it in the fireplace.
Right.
You have no equity. You're paying their equity.
Yeah.
You're paying for their investment. You're paying, absolutely for them to gain nothing but not only equity, but most likely cash flow.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so
Yeah.
it's like a double whammy. And so they're not even thinking about that.
No, and they're really not. So I had this, I even said, not only can we find out, obviously that credit pull is real. Everyone is like, well, my Credit Karma says this, or my bank says my rate's this. You do not know your credit score until a lender pulls a credit, because that is, and when I say it hard pull, that doesn't mean your points go down by 10. It's anywhere between 0 and 3, really. That's the reality of a hard pull from a lender. That score is your score. That is what we are going to use to qualify you. And the cool thing, and I don't know if I said it the last show, but when we pulled a score, from the 3 bureaus, we look at the middle one. But what our program does is it shows where, if there's room to improve on the credit literally within days. And we could do that. So like, I'll go in there, and if I see a plus 15, I'll click on it, and it'll say the points, they could get their points up by 15 points if they pay this particular card down by
It didn't used to be like that.
Oh, it is amazing.
It used to take, they'd say, oh, well, you can pay everything off, and it'll take 30 days, and then you might have to call, and it's 45 days. Now it's like that quick.
I mean, this is phenomenal. And it goes beyond. It goes, you could either do it's called a rapid rescore, where it literally will tell you what we could do within days. And then it could go from 1 month out 2 years of what it could do. So, I mean, there's so much, and people don't know, and it's a shame seeing these, again, like yesterday, a single mom with her child going to look to rent a room because she doesn't think she could buy something. It's like, let me do our application.
So just really quickly, let's walk through that, because we do have a little bit of time, right, Jeff? Like, we can go into this
a
bit. 2 minutes.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Listen. And by the way, like, if you guys see me smiling, I've got like this whole SNL, and I feel like we should have donut holes and muffins, and we should be talking about your buns right now.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Those muffins are, pretty good. So sorry. I just saw Betty White do SNL. I saw that skit, and she's like, yeah. Anyway, so I digress. But because don't we have that vibe right now? We totally. That vibe.
We do.
Yes.
All right, muffins next time. So, all right. So, single mom, shopping. It's all the things that we're not supposed to talk about in real estate. But with that being said, these are our clients, and these are the people that we want to put in homes.
Yeah.
And give them a foot in the door, give them the opportunity. And everyone, if you listen to the news media, they're saying, good Lord, like, brakes on, don't do anything. Nobody knows where it's going to go. The plane is going down.
I know.
The plane is going down. So,
right.
No, it's not going down. It's fine. It's fine. But the reality is you actually said, it does not hurt you to let me run the numbers. You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose at all. And if you think your credit is that bad, 3 points is not going to hurt that really bad credit score. I mean, again, it's people are so, I hear it day in, day out. I hear my husband on the phone with clients too, walking throughout the house. He's like, it's a hard pull, but it really won't. They're like, can you do a soft pull just to see where we're at? He's like, no, we have to know the real numbers.
Okay, I love TikTok, right? And I follow everybody because I want to see what everybody else is doing. There was a guy that posted the other day that he got someone approved at like a 586 credit score.
Yeah. 580. Yeah.
Wow.
FHA. Yeah.
Say that in the microphone.
580 is fine. Yeah.
FHA.
For certain
Yeah,
for certain criteria for Fannie and Freddie.
Yeah.
Fannie and Freddie. Yeah, 580
We're back to that, right? By the way, we're back to that. So this goes into that affordability thing, where everyone, if you didn't have 150,000 cash sitting in the bank to go over for your appraisal gap and appraisal waiver, you no longer need that, because sellers now, if their agents are having the appropriate conversations, and I want to get into that too, Jeff, agents' experience level and having the appropriate expectations with their sellers, because they don't even know what they should be explaining and having their sellers look at, because they've never seen it before, ever. Like, and these brokerages are so large, your average solo agent, what kind of guidance and everything are they getting? So anyway, we can touch base on that. But affordability wise, we're looking at FHAs again. Mm-hmm. We're looking at concessions, even if you're not an FHA.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, and again, market specific as far as location specific, I understand that there's still hot areas going on, but you now have options affordability wise if you're sitting at where this person was sitting.
Yeah. And I'll plug this one. I got an email the other day that I sent that over to you, right?
Yeah.
Down payment assistance. So that has been completely off the table for a while now, for months,
it
ever
has.
since the rates have gone up. So July 5th, it's back on. So from July 5th until 1,000 borrowers have taken advantage of that, it's on. So they're capping it at 1,000.
Well, they always do this to scare us a little bit, to say, oh, it's only going to be 1,000. In your experience, my experience, it's like, all right,
I've never heard
we
of cap.
reached.
No,
I
but
mean,
I've only been in this 2 years, and up until recently, we've always had down payment assistance. So I never
Yeah.
even knew it was something that could go away. I'm like, wait, where is this down payment assistance program? They're like, nope, it's gone.
Yeah.
Ran out of money. Rates are high. They're not, they're probably losing money. There's only an allotted amount. So
they threw this out in 2021 for our investors and said, we're going to raise everybody 3.75 points for second homes and investment homes. They rolled it out for about 3 months and then they retracted it. So I feel like there's opportunity. I don't want to say sit on the sidelines, but yeah, I mean, DPA, if that's available, if that's something that you need.
yeah,
Now, let me ask you this, because what do you have to do to qualify for DPA? First, is that FHA? Like, say all the things that you qualify for
So-
DPA.
I have to look. It used to be 720 credit score on the last one. So I got to make sure. I'm not going to quote the credit score, the credit. But they raised income used to be, oh my gosh, 68,000. Again, I don't want to quote it, but income, if you made over a certain amount, you could not.
I think they raised it to 101,000.
122.
122.
Now,
See, I was close. We're above 100.
But it was much lower because
Right. Exactly.
I was trying to qualify I'm like, they make way too much. But they don't have a down payment.
Right.
So it's raised 122, 100. I think that's the exact. And credit, I believe it's a 720. I have to look. Did you see on that paper? I don't remember seeing a credit.
I think it's lower.
Typically,
I think it's lower.
because
Yeah.
DPA in the past was 720.
It just means you have to call Jessica
Maybe it was
in order to
680.
find out.
Yeah, you have to call me, actually. I have to really.
She has the key.
I have the key. In July
Yes.
5th, I'll know more. But that's when it comes out. So, I mean, you have to be working full time or.
And that was household income, right? The
Yes.
Whatever it is,
Yes.
122.
Right,
Yes,
but-
household, whoever's on the
Okay.
loan.
But how
Right.
brutal, like 68,000. I mean, that's practically poverty level if you're both bringing home like, 30 grand,
That's right,
35
yeah.
grand each, and you're scraping by and you've got, all of your obligations, whether they're people obligations or, bill obligations or what household obligations. You're meeting that. That's not thriving. That's for sure.
all.
That's scraping by.
Right.
And you have to almost be poverty in order to qualify to get help.
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
No, not at
Like
all.
that's not a leg up. That's
Yeah.
like okay, here you go, but we want you to be struggling before
Exactly.
we even
Right.
It's messed up.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's
So if
completely
anybody wants
messed
to
up.
reach out to you, Jessica, what's the number they can reach? you at?
602-828-3517.
I know I'm not stripping, but it's really warm.
All right.
It's really, really warm in here. That's a whole
The Federal Reserve is also starting to worry about affordability. I know this morning Jerome Powell said that, quote, I would say if you're a home buyer, you need a bit of a reset.
Right. And I feel like we're at that reset. Okay, so let's talk about that reset because I saw that panel, I saw the questioning, I saw both sides, right? Where they were coming at questioning, they want to make it look like we're on the side of the American people and blah blah blah.
Right.
Look, I don't care what side of politics you are on. If you can't see through that BS, because the reality of it is inflation and market rate, the rates and inflation are actually not together. And so she was basically implying, a lot of the questioning was implying that how can they continue to raise rates and knowing inflation is where it's at. Well, one party very much does have control of inflation and where we're going based on policies, right? Policies that they're throwing out there, very decisions that they're making. And then the feds are trying to get a hold, they're trying to counteract inflation and saying, look, we want to get control of the market. And by slowing that down, that's why we're raising the rates the way that we are. And by the way, we're diversified in the rates that we're raising. We're doing short term, we're doing long term, and it's a good opportunity to be able to jump back in. It is that reset that we need. And so it's a mindset shift. Instead of saying, oh no, the plane is crashing, it's like, oh, no. Well, the plane's not crashing. The plane was going like this, and we just did this. We just hit our 35,000 foot, touring
What do they call
capacity,
that?
and we leveled off. Yeah. We were doing this before. We just did this. We're not this. We're not anything. We're just this right now.
But could it turn into this? So it's almost like a domino effect.
Don't say it.
I don't want to. But you see, like I'm dealing with not dealing, but I talked to my cousin in New Jersey, and she's been in the process of buying a home for over a year now, and it's kind of an off market deal that she's trying to get with
That's what we talked about last week.
Yeah. So now she came back to the seller who still hasn't presented a contract and said, original price was $540. She goes, hey, can you lower it to $525? Because obviously the market has taken a shift. Things are lowering, and rates have gone up. So actually $540 is, since the rates are so much higher, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone and my affordability to even be qualified for this loan. Can you drop it to $525? And I'm very curious of what this girl, I said if I was the girl, I would take it just because it's off market. She doesn't have to list her house. She doesn't have to hold open it, just take it and run. But again,
I'd have to see the numbers.
Do you? Yeah.
I'd have to see the numbers. That's, those are all really good reasons from the buyer's standpoint. Mm-hmm. But if you're put yourself in that seller's standpoint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does the seller even know the market? Is the seller already underpriced? Which, by the way, your average for sale by owner doesn't tend to be in tune with exactly where they should be. They're usually undervalued, or they're usually way overvalued.
Right.
One or the other. So
yeah.
So without having that conversation and knowing the numbers, to be able to add your, everything's generalization, but you're coming at it from a, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I have a problem over here, and I'm making my problem your problem, even though there's a few million people out there that can still afford your home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
So what perspective do you take, right? Which side of the coin are you on?
But what's funny is, as that buyer who, is not in our world, she's not in the mortgage world, in the real estate world, she's noticing price reduction when she's looking at lists, because she's constantly on, Realtor.com, whatever, looking at and seeing those price reductions is like,
Yeah, but she's also comparing a Washington apple to a Delaware apple, because she's seeing price reductions based on what realtors are pricing, and so she's paying attention to those. But in reality, it's a for sale by owner that might not necessarily have as good a thumb on what the market's actually doing.
Yeah.
And so I would have a conversation with her, and I would actually guide her to pull the numbers and present the seller with actual numbers, and then have that conversation, and not from a I need perspective, but from a here are actual numbers,
right?
And would you like to see what the rest of your neighborhood is doing?
Right.
And would you like to see what everyone else is selling for?
Yeah.
Now, how good does my number look?
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do. I would bring numbers to the table, just like a listing presentation, and there you go. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Crazy.
It's good.
Yeah. So
All right.
you're right for like an off-market property.
Yeah.
But to go back to FHA, DPA, all of that, you work with a lot of agents. Your average agent right now, we've talked about this before, is 2 to 5 year agent, right? And so, is it like that back in KC, Jeff? Is it?
What's that? Average agent?
Yeah, your average agent. Like, what's your demographic for agents like back there?
Yeah, well, we've had a lot. Well, just like out there, we've had a ton of increase in the number of agents over the last 2 years, for sure.
Did you see the drop off that we saw?
Well, so much so that I spoke to an agent who normally does about 60 transactions a year here in the Springfield metro area. And she said that so far this year, she's down to only like 8 transactions. And one of the reasons was because she said so many of her past clients had friends or family that have gotten their license over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Girlfriends, brothers,
So,
uncles.
there's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll see a lot of people get out of the business, I'm sure, over the next 12 months.
Oh,
Well, we
yeah.
talked about those numbers last week, right? Like, it was over 24,000 agents that dropped out from February to now.
Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
number. So
Even-
interesting. But
Oh, and I need to mention that quote from Jerome Powell. That was from the 23rd, because I know this will air after that. So that was
Yes.
from June 23rd.
yeah,
I do think it's a way for him to kind of let us know that they're going to be doing some things that could, really shake up interest rates even more. By him saying, he's just not coming out saying, "Oh, we need house prices to go down." He's just coming out saying there needs to be a reset.
Yeah.
So that might be code for them, just like back when Alan Greenspan said, "Is there not irrational exuberance, in the equities markets?" Well, that was right before the, a major issue in those markets. So
right.
who knows where it's going to go? I think that the only thing we can do is watch it on a daily basis and see what's happening.
So
I think everybody that says they know what's going to happen probably
Right,
doesn't know
have
what's
no
going to
I
happen.
think
idea.
anybody
Yeah.
that knows what to say knows they're saying we don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Exactly.
Right. And so Jess and I were just, my little crystal ball right now is saying I think we're going to end up like 8.5%
Right.
by the end of the year. I really do think that that's where we're going to end up. And honestly, coming from my seat and where I've been sitting and my experience, that's not that scary. It just isn't, because it's evolution. We continue to evolve as a society. We continue to grow as a society. We're not in a state that's going away growth-wise. I mean, not all the businesses have closed. We're certainly not in COVID state where everything literally did shut down. We're
Right.
not dealing with that. We've been hit with a lot. I think there's a whole lot of fatigue out there. And I think that goes back to mindset. People are tired. They have been being yanked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth we're going into our third year now. How bad does that fatigue affect your mindset on which way do we go now, George?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, we just got done with every curveball you guys could throw at us, and now you're going to throw us into a recession, and you're going to hit us at home with groceries and gas. And we were shopping. We need another bedroom because we need more space for mom or the kids, or, now we have to sell our house, and we're sitting in a 5,000 square foot house. And of course, I know I'm exaggerating for the, whatever. So I don't want to get any hate mail. That's not the average, but I'm exaggerating. And now you're sitting in there and it's one person or two people, and you don't need it, and you thought you had a little bit of time to sell and thought you were going to get a certain price, and now you're not going to be able to get that. By the way, appreciation hasn't gone away either. So it really is a mindset. I think it becomes a mindset conversation, and now you're addressing something else. You're addressing fatigue from all levels, right? I think that's fair to say. And then there's call it fear mongering from Washington, from the feds. You have all the pundits, everybody up there with their opinion, depending on what side they sit on what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And who's pointing, like everybody's going like this, when really I don't care which way the finger's pointing, just like, let's fix it so that we can live.
Yes.
And thrive, right? And there's a balance there somewhere. There's been balance there before. I know that there's a balance there, and we all know how good it feels when we're in a good economy.
Mm-hmm.
Employment's rocking and rolling. Everybody's healthy. Business is growing. People are expanding. Business is moving around the globe, not just within the U.S., but it's moving around the globe, which is what's happening to Arizona right now. So, but I wanted to ask Jess, because this is something that came up today in the conversation of our market update. Your average agent's 2 to 5 years. The majority of them, we weren't really seeing concessions a whole lot back in 2020 because when COVID hit, we were seeing them somewhat back in 19, but we were still seeing a really good growth rate of because supply started to descend in 2019 in comparison to 17 and 18. It started to go down, and then it really tanked when the pandemic, it went way up, and then it was like a death drop immediately. Do you find that you're having to educate new agents on I've got Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and all of a sudden we get 3 offers and there's concessions. And I'm a new agent and I'm like, screw that, man. We're not going to take concessions. There's no way. Really, you better get a grip. Like, you better get a grip quick.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing your clients any favors.
Right. So you asking me if agents are very uneducated with the whole process? Yes, but I don't even, I'm like, I don't have my real estate license. Why are they ask me a million questions. So let me ask you something. Well, when was the last time how long have you had this?
My license?
200 years, right? Are you going on 200? What was the last? Do they train these agents when they get out? How does it work?
My muffins are looking pretty dry these days.
How does it work?
It's either through experience or through your broker.
Wait, okay, what was the question? Sorry, can you repeat that,
So
sir?
you know how when agents come out of school, I believe, because I've seen this, that they tell you during your schooling, interview brokers, right? Interview at least.
Nobody listens.
No one listens, right? So what is it that, what do you think makes an agent go to a certain brokerage?
It has to be what they offer, okay? Right? It can't just, we've got leads. Oh, give me a break. The world is full of leads.
Right.
Do you go to the coffee shop in the morning? Leads.
Yeah.
Do you do you have a computer? Leads.
Yeah.
Do you go out in public? Do you go to a restaurant? Do you go sit? Do you talk to anybody outside of your home?
When I first became an agent or got my real estate license, my thing was splits, right?
That's
Really?
what people
It's a
cared
mistake.
about. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And 0% or 100% of zero is nothing. So
nothing.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Right. So that's what I asked an agent yesterday. I said, what made you go to that brokerage? Because she interviewed a couple.
Leads and
This brokerage was taking too much. This one. So that's what, exactly.
It's all about this.
And I said, well, do you have a coach? Yeah, I have a coach. What's a coach doing? Do you know how to market yourself? Well, no, I'm trying to fix. So
the coach isn't doing anything, is what I'm
I guess
hearing.
not the mark. I wanted to say, what is a coach doing then? If you're not.
No, that's the very first thing I'd ask is, what is the coach doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what are you getting out of it?
Right. That's why we're meeting with Kinder at 3. I said, I have someone for you.
Yeah.
I pimp Kinder out to everyone.
Yeah. So
she's truly.
Yeah, for sure.
And it should be a brokerage really doing that.
Well, it should be. I coach outside of, I coach everyone from different brokerages and different teams.
Right.
But the reality is the what you're trying to do isn't, overall it's the same, right? You want to grow your business.
Yeah.
And so you want to do it in the right way and ask the right questions. Nobody really, that they're focused on splits. Joey, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
And 100% of nothing is still nothing.
That's right.
And by the way, what kind of leads are those? How much time are we wasting? What else do they provide you besides leads and splits? And I don't want to pay 50% for leads and, my phone ringing or anything. Like, I don't want to pay 50% on training. And really, because you're going to go out and handle one of the largest transactions a person has in their life. No matter how many times they do it, it's their asset, right? It's an asset. Well, I got news for you. It's a big liability for you.
Yeah.
Across the board. It's a liability for you and your broker. And so, and you want to be out there doing business. You're driving a car and you're 12 and you're on the freeway. No license.
Yeah.
Because what you learned in school is only your permit. I have news for you. It's a permit. It is not licensed to drive.
Right.
It's a permit.
I think it's 15 now.
Get a grip. Get a grip.
So what would you tell newer agents then when they're interviewing brokerages? What are they looking for?
Yeah. So first of all, engagement. You have to have a mindset alignment. You have to have. You have to be on the same level as far as what does your life look like. And the reality is this: you might be single and have 23 hours available a day to go out there and hustle, right? And then you're sitting next to a guy that has 5 kids at home, a wife that's going to school, and the pressure on that person, him or her, and I'm just, whatever, is absolutely insane. Not only does he does not have the 23 hours to burn work-wise because he has home obligations that he has to meet, but now he has the pressure of, crap, I better make 23 hours to get out there and hustle because now this kid has no obligations really to speak of and all the time in the world building their business, and look at my obligations and I've got to be out there. So priorities, what are your priorities right from the get-go? You've got to look at, are you aligned with the team lead? Do they understand where you're coming from? I mean, what part of life are they in? What part of life is their team in? What stage is their team in? How long have they had it? What systems do they have in place? Systems, processes, and what is their attitude towards all of it? All of it across the board. Because you can have a very diversified team, but your attitude towards people and every single person needing a different approach. If you do this team thing where, you know what, everybody's required at trainings, it's the same for everybody, you might as well check out right now.
Yeah.
Do you parent your kids the same? That's the reality of it, is we have families. Our teams are families.
Yeah.
And so if you're not aligned, you just got yourself a rowdy teenager that's going to go la, 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 la. I don't care if you're trying to feed them. I don't care if you're trying to supply them with the best thing that the best education, the best food, the best everything that life has to offer. But if they're not willing to hear what you say because they feel like you don't get them and you don't care about where they're at and there's no empathy to where they're at, what's the point? You're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So how did you guys pick your brokerages?
Well, we've gone through several.
Yeah. But again, is any of these the reasons why you chose to leave brokerages?
Yes. Well, I had a specific focus, so my focus was investment properties. And, of course, I did want to find 100%. I didn't need the training. I didn't need the marketing or anything like that because my thing is this, right?
Right.
But when I was trying to get a whole bunch of sellers and buyers and create a team, we tried to find a broker that had successful teams so that we can learn from those teams. And our broker can kind of guide us to these certain teams and maybe even be part of that team for a little bit, get down their processes, their procedures, and then eventually start my own team.
Yeah.
So.
And how's that going, Joey? Good. I mean, you just created a beautiful flip, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, pimp it out right now. Tell everybody. The address.
The address is 1702 West Myrtle Avenue. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's 2,076 square feet. Everything is redone. It's basically a new house other than the outside, which
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. Yeah, it's in great shape. So.
It turned out beautiful.
Well,
What town?
Thank you. It's in Phoenix.
Okay.
It's a great area, by the way. It used to be a more transition than it is now. You're in that central corridor, and wow, just like minutes away from all the action of Central and both 7th Avenue and 7th Street. And it's got all the mature landscaping, great area, good freeway access, good restaurants. I mean, it is. I think people kind of forget about that area because it is, we call it sleepers, where everybody's super content, right?
Yes.
But there's so much opportunity there, and you guys just did a fantastic job with that house.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so the investment thing, it's going good, of course, with the market, the way it's leveling out right now. It's a little bit different, but for the most part, everything is going good. And again, it shouldn't be about us anyways. It's about you guys.
No, I mean, this is the opportunity that, hey, I have a listing up in North Scottsdale. Let's go. So if there's for all the agents out there, but I hope this helps people that aren't agents, to see what questions they should be asking of agents and things like that too.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's you have to pick a brokerage that's aligned with your priorities and your mindset. Yeah.
Yep. I know you wanted to talk about business growth also, right? For the Valley?
Yeah.
Do we have time for that on this one, or do you want to do that next time, or how? What do you think?
We can push it. I mean, Phoenix Business Journal, if you're not subscribing to Phoenix Business Journal, do it. Because the business coming in right now, our business coming in is not coming off. It's not backing off, I should say. It's not descending at all. If anything, the Suns, even though we petered out on the Suns.
Sore subject for me.
You know what? We always have next year. Let's go, book.
That's it.
Let's go.
Yes.
It was a bummer to have Chris Paul CP3 go out that way, but
Yeah.
that's okay. So, but the reality is who that brought to the table, and when you're in a room and there's synergy, right? And we're talking, and it's like you're able to just like tap in. It's like, oh yeah, it's just boom, 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 boom. That's what's happening for Arizona business growth wise.
Yeah.
And a lot of those international players came to the table when the Suns were rocking and rolling. And I think people have to look at that as there were steps taken, growth. A lot of that growth brought those players to the table for us. And we're still on the upswing of that. And so I think we should probably talk about water next week, Jeff. We have to have this conversation because it's on everyone's plate, because we've got a double whammy here. Our demand is leveling off. Our supply is going up, depending on your price range, but overall supply is going up. But the the demand is narrowing a bit for now, right? For now. But we still have a lot of people that are coming, new jobs being created, pretty good demographics as far as their employment rates, what they're paid, everything from a really healthy salary all the way up to executive level. And so water's going to impact us with that growth. They're still coming. That was my main question is how are they looking at our water issues? And then builders, where they're at. All of that, I think we need to have that probably on next week because it's a big part of it.
So in regards to builders, I'm sorry, Jeff. In regards to builders, I know that a lot of them had a whole bunch of sales, right? Like they're still building.
Right.
So, I mean, how's that still work? I mean, did they...
So I have my notes,
Okay,
sorry.
that's
Okay. So yeah. So builders, month over month for June, they were 2% higher on permits this month. All right. Not necessarily the increase because I have increased numbers of how much we went up. I believe we went up from 500 new builds on the MLS to it's either 13 or 1,500. I'm in that range, so I'll just give that range. So we saw quite an increase on MLS. But let's keep in mind also that builders weren't advertising on MLS. They weren't listing. They didn't have to.
Right.
That's
Right?
right.
They didn't have to at all. So I think that's part of the demand and the increase as well. But on that 2% month over month increase on builders, 13 of the 21 building cities, 13 of the 21 out of 21 that had all pulled permits month over month, 13 of that went down of the 21 building. So 13 counties. So out of that, only 8 comprised that 2%. Because everyone was backing off. So buildings slowing down as well. They're going off of their market and they're going the ones, any inventory that they took back. And what are you seeing with your new build?
Big slide. I can't believe they're still
Your but your lock-in rate, that you're able to lock in for people that
it's
were
phenomenal. I mean that's working big time to like put at ease.
refresh people's memory.
Yeah,
on that.
so it goes 180. You could lock for 180, 270 to 360 all the way out. You pay an upfront half a point of the loan amount. We hold on to that. The closer we get to that close date, anywhere between 17 days to 60 days, whatever that looks like. If we want to float down, we could float it down to where that rate is. If it gets better, we take that 0.5% and that buys down that float, right? If it stays the same, we give that back, kick it back to them or towards closing costs. So that's huge because a lot of in-home building lenders don't have that. They could only lock up to 60 days. So,
and where are we at for June 23rd? Where are the rates?
aren't we like quote a rate?
Is it like 6.2, 6.3?
No, I was in 5s this morning.
Get out.
Rates. Yeah.
I almost
I think I quoted someone.
I almost got bleeped.
Yeah.
Get the bleep out.
This was conventional This was a 780. This was a 46 loan to value.
Throw it up, lock
And
it
was
down
like-
right now. Lock it down, lock it down.
It was it was my cousin. So I'm looking at her loan, even though she's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But she's actually going with a friend lender.
Right.
There. And he's at 5.5, and I think I was at 5.625.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
That was this morning, but
That sounds
and
a whole
yesterday
lot
it
better.
dropped. It dropped again too. I mean, it dropped yesterday. And then
Okay,
Rebecca,
so they can lock in right now,
yeah,
new build, right?
yes,
Because then in 3 months, when we don't know what the heck is going on, and let's say that we could go to
Yeah.
7%, 8%, that 5% is looking killer.
killer. Yeah,
Right?
even saying 5% right now.
like,
It's so funny because 2 weeks ago when we spoke, 5% was like, oh my gosh, but
Better
time
get
heals
used to it.
all. Eventually you
It's the
keep
new
seeing
norm.
these. Yeah, it's the new norm. So yeah, that's not that bad. But I mean, any new builds out there, you guys are looking at 5, 4, even 3 to 4 months out. I would definitely look into this program.
Can you
it's
do a
just a
2-1 buy
safeguard.
down on this program or no?
No.
I'm double dipping on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. No double
dip on
dipping.
that. No, do
Okay.
not double dip on that one.
All right. No fun. No fun at all. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
great.
lots of good stuff, right? Like, I don't think
Yeah.
it can really get boring. I think you can truly go week to week because every week is a different story. I have a listing right now in what's considered the luxury market. We're at almost 4 million. We're at 3,950, and my numbers are still great. Like, you're seeing all this increase in supply across the board. By the way, we're still under 12,000 listings, and an average of, I think, in 2018, 2019, we were running like right around 14 to 16,000 ish is what we would call a balanced inventory, or somewhere in there. We're still way below that. As at the moment, who knows what it's
Right.
going to be in 30 days, 60 days. But every price bracket has its own reaction, and interest rates really don't impact my inventory right now. And my inventory in my price range is still very low. It's not, it's not rising. There's not a whole lot coming on, and I have seasonality working in my favor as
Yeah.
well. And we're new on. We haven't been sitting that long, so we'll get some really good foot traffic through there.
Plug
Let
your
people
listing.
think. 8469 East Nightingale Star.
What a pretty name.
I know, right? This house is gorgeous.
3.9.
Get your butt up there this weekend. We have open house, 9 to 12, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And so it will still be on. If no offers accepted, please give us a shout, because we air next week, right, Jeff?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of talking now. So ideally, if I'm speaking and I'm the master creator and manifester that we all love to hear, it won't be available.
It won't.
So this is a tease.
Yeah, it's a tease, and I'll let you guys know what it's sold for later.
We'll accept your contract as a backup.
Exactly. So, yeah. I mean, but it's just different markets. You really need to look at, yes, supply is increasing, but not across the board.
Nope.
Nope.
Be educated on where you sit
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
right.
like, I feel like we're kind of the A team a little bit. Like, our process, we've got it dialed in, don't we?
I agree.
We've got it dialed in.
Yeah.
As far as looking, having people knowing what step they need to take. Any buyers that we've had together, it's like, oh man, it's smooth as a baby's bottom. It's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's nice to have good people to work with, and the process is dialed in. No speed bumps, no hiccups, because we've already had that conversation, and the communication is really good, and that's how it should be. That's how a buyers and sellers transaction should be.
Yeah.
Their deals, for
Yeah.
sure.
Agreed.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here again.
Thanks for having
Thank
us
you.
again. I
Absolutely.
love it. I love
Absolutely. You guys, we ready to get in the ring?
Let's go.
it. No bleeps this week.
No.
No.
There was only
We're
one last
very
week.
PG.
Yeah.
Was there
know.
one? I thought there were more than
Just
one.
one.
I was angry.
Was there one, Joey?
There was only
I don't remember.
one. Yeah.
I was angry elf last week. I really
Yeah, you
was.
were an angry
I was.
elf.
You know what? I just You know, and again, it goes to mindset fatigue. You guys, we'll pick each other up. If you're feeling fatigued, just call for that pep talk.
Yep.
Got your back.
There we go.
All right. All right, here we go. How about, like I said before, we've gone through so many questions with you ladies already, but how about your favorite sport and sports team?
Oh man, that's tough.
Football.
Yes,
And it's my
football.
son's team because I really could care less about anyone. I never got into,
The NFL or anything like
no,
that. College.
I don't know anyone. So I'm more of a personal. Yeah.
Well, always the hometown teams,
That's
right?
right.
Because it'd be lame.
Go Cardinals.
But we didn't used to be fair, we didn't used to have football or baseball teams.
It's true.
And the D-backs, I love you, Diamondbacks. I'm gonna preface this next statement, but you know, we could use a reset. The Diamondbacks could use a reset.
They certainly can. They need to go back to the purple and the purple
Right, something.
jerseys.
Oh, is it? It's the uniforms. That's the problem. They've got a wedgie right now, and they need to go change their uniforms,
Exactly.
reset, and come back all fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
My wife calls them costumes.
Oh no, she does not.
Yes, she does. She goes, I want that one. That was a better costume.
Yeah. So true.
She picks color. She picks teams like a lot of people pick wine. They pick
Yep.
by the label.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's awesome.
How about your favorite food and favorite restaurant in the valley?
Yes.
Oh gosh, there's so many good ones right now.
It depends on what.
Have you seen the new Champagne Bowling Alley in downtown Phoenix?
No.
Oh,
Champagne
talked
bowl.
about that.
Okay, I'll do a shout out for them next week.
Okay.
And then of course you have to go with the classics like Tarbell's is still around and rocking and rolling. That guy is just like
I can't think of
he's
what.
fantastic.
There's one in Old Town that's so good. Oh, what was that restaurant?
little taco shop.
Nope. Oh my gosh.
That's how good it is.
The worst. I only remember their drinks. I bet the food was amazing, but the margaritas were insane. We had like 15. It was insane what we drank.
That's
Oh
why
my
you don't
gosh.
remember it.
Yeah,
That's exactly why.
Wasn't Diego Pops?
No.
Okay.
It's nice. It's hard to get into. Smaller. Oh my gosh. Old Town.
You're going to have to look
You
it up.
know it.
I know.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
gotta
but
look it
we're
up.
in Arizona where there's just like a ton of great
There's a
Mexican
lot of
food
great
places, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, for pizza, salads, like really good. It's called Lamp. It's in North Scottsdale. It's Pima and Pinnacle Peak. It's a small little
Lamp, Lamp.
LAMP. Yeah, it's the I think it's a husband and wife. It's their initials. I mean, it's so random. Lamp Pizza. It's tiny. It's excellent. Brick oven pizza. I think he had the oven shipped from Italy. I mean, it's amazing.
Wood burning.
Wood burning.
Nice.
It's so good. So that's my
Have you
shout
guys
out.
tried any of the Roosevelt Row restaurants?
Yes.
Yeah, so those
Yeah.
are a bunch of local ones. I
Okay.
can't think of any off. My wife does all that. I just say, let's go to
There's
the one
a
on 7th
ton.
Street in Roosevelt.
Right.
I was just at the
taco shop
Churchill
over there.
this last
Yeah,
weekend.
it's a
I was
great
just at
place
the
right there.
Churchill.
Yeah.
Where's that?
And it's Roosevelt and is it 3rd?
Yeah, I think so. That's
Yeah.
where you go to different little.
Right. The 2nd or 3rd. It's somewhere in there.
Yep.
And that little taco shop starts with a
Oh,
P.
I know what you're talking
Yes.
It is so good.
Fantastic
Yes.
food, fantastic tacos. And then we went and saw a puppet play. They did
Really?
they did Jurassic Park.
What?
Yes, you're going to see this guy at the Herberger, by the way.
Oh my
but it was
gosh,
a
how
great
cute.
it was a killer, no pun intended, show.
Oh my gosh.
It was really, really good.
Wait.
Yeah. So there's so many new ones popping up right
There's
now.
so many good restaurants out here.
Yeah.
It's funny coming from back east. What am I at? 14 years, 15 years. When I came out here, that was the biggest complaint. I'm like, food's not that good. I mean, it's killer. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of great restaurants, and I would have never back east gone to a Persian restaurant. Like Persian room, excellent. We get
Yeah,
Persian
I
at
love
least once a
Persian
week.
room.
Love.
And it's been there forever.
I tried Indian once, but I was talking to an agent, her son, and they love this Indian place, so we're gonna go there and I'm gonna try that. Like, there's just so many cool concepts too. Like, it's fun. I'm gonna figure out
Phoenix.
this.
Don't you? I mean, Phoenix has grown food wise.
Yes, they have.
Oh my gosh.
Cafe Monarch.
Cafe Mon.
So good.
That's not Mexican though, but Cafe
No,
Monarch
no.
is a legendary, dude.
So good.
It's legendary.
It is.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
that was excellent. But I'm saying it's excellent. I don't
How many
remember
of
the
you
food.
rolled into Cafe Monarch?
There was just 4 of us. I mean, this was like 2 years
that's
ago.
funny.
and it's a set menu.
Was it? I don't know. Listen, the
Typically.
margaritas. The margaritas were insanely delicious.
Well, everything
That's all
at
I
Cafe
remember.
Monarch is
Service was a 10.
Top
We had
tier.
900 servers. Everyone was better than the
900.
next. Like, it was just a really great
I love
experience.
it.
But wait, this was the best. I got to tell this story because my husband loves to spend money on food. I mean, he's obnoxious with it. He just loves food.
It's about the
He cooks
experience.
too. Yeah. And we went with another couple, and the next day we spent, I mean, the bill was insane. The next day, the husband called, our friend Jeff, and he goes, he's like, I was thinking about chartering a plane and going to California for lunch. You guys want to like just busting, like, because we spent so much money. Like, we're not going out for another like 3 months because we spent so much money.
I love
Oh my
it.
gosh, but it was worth it.
I love.
That's a good one.
So my grandfather owned 2 planes.
Oh.
And they would jump in. Him and my grandmother would jump in the plane to go, for breakfast or lunch
gosh,
or
that's
whatever.
so
Yeah,
cool.
isn't that great?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I thought you were serious for a second.
No,
I'm like, jump
not
in the
at all.
plane and go.
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay. No,
That's cool.
we've really grown as a foodie town.
Yes.
For sure.
That's cool.
I love it.
I'm now out here in Southwest Missouri where it's pretty much all about barbecue. So
Oh yeah, but barbecue's great too.
Good transition.
Barbecue.
Love
Yeah,
barbecue.
for sure.
yeah, there we go.
How's
There we
everything
go.
else out there, Jeff?
Good. It's a little warm right now. Above normal for sure. Getting up into the 90s.
Wah.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't
107 this morning.
I don't even want to hear
Yep.
about it. As
Yep.
we're hitting 110, it's like, whatever,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious. Well, the heat index puts it closer to 100.
Yeah, but you guys have
But-
humidity. No, thank you.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway.
Nope.
Talked to someone back in
Yep.
Florida, and they're like, it's 90 degrees, but we're melting. I'm like, yeah, I'll stay in Arizona. Thanks.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, big picture,
All right.
Jeff. Big picture, like optimistic still. Lots of optimistic things, right? Still good news.
That's right.
With recessions always comes great opportunity.
Agreed.
Exactly.
The
Now
biggest
you're
thing
speaking my
too,
language.
my
As
husband.
long as you have cash.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? My husband said this to our team the other day, and it really resonated. It was like, we're not crazy busy. I mean, I jumped in when the refi boom was here, and I couldn't even speak to my husband. It was like boom, 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 and I'm just trying to like follow and just do everything. And it's like, you know what? Take this time right now, reset, pay attention to your kids, family, like take it all in, put your phone down, like just enjoy what you busted your
quick.
butt for. You know what I mean? Busted your
Market's
butt
not
doing.
going away.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Just reset and relax
Put
and
down
just pivot.
both of your phones.
Put down. I know. I'm the worst.
Right.
I'm the worst.
No, but the kids. He's
Yeah.
referring to the kids.
Yeah.
Kids, put down your
yeah,
phone
yeah,
too.
Yeah, But just enjoy, engage, and just take this time to reset and figure out. Okay, what's our next move?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
I love
Absolutely.
it. Thank you both so
Well,
much.
thank you, ladies, for being on again.
Thank you.
Love it.
I guess we'll see you next week.
Yes,
Will.
Yes, you will. I want to hear that house sold, Joey.
Yes.
Yes.
Let you know that.
Yes.
it's gonna
for
sell, and
sure.
so is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
got it.
I hope it does.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Hey, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Till next time, agents. We will see you later.
Adios.
Take care.
Have a great week.